I'm going to say something that might be a little uncomfortable, but if you've been working hard on your health and your results have been slower than they should be, this might be the most important video you watch all year. Your partner is either your greatest asset or your biggest obstacle. There is no neutral. Every meal you share, every evening routine you follow, every decision made in that house, you are both influencing each other constantly. The question is whether that influence is pulling you forward or dragging you back. I'm JD, pharmacist, 30 plus years in healthcare, judo black belt, BJJ brown belt, and someone who has watched this play out in my own life and in the lives of hundreds of patients. And the research on this is clear, and it is uncomfortable for a lot of people to hear. But I'd rather tell you the truth today than let you keep grinding without results and never understand why. And stay with me, because this one might require a conversation at home tonight. And before we get into this, I want to be absolutely clear about something. This is not about attacking your partner. This is not about blame, shame, or ultimatums. What this is about is the biological and behavioral reality of what happens when two people share a life together, and what the science says about how powerfully we shape each other's health outcomes. You can have perfect discipline. You can track your calories, hit the gym 4 days a week, sleep 8 hours, and still watch your progress crawl if the environment you go home to every night is working against you, and that environment includes the person sleeping next to you. Let's start with the data, because this isn't just a feeling. It has been studied extensively, and the numbers are hard to ignore. The Framingham Heart Study, one of the longest running cardiovascular studies in history, found that having an obese spouse increases your own risk of becoming obese by approximately 37%. Not because weight is literally contagious, but because the behaviors that lead to weight gain absolutely are. You share meals, you share habits, you unconsciously match each other's portion sizes and eating speeds and activity patterns. The researchers call this behavioral synchronization, and it happens whether you're aware of it or not. And a landmark study published in JAMA Internal Medicine followed nearly 4,000 cohabiting couples and found something remarkable. Men were 67% more likely to successfully adopt a regular exercise routine when their partner was also making the change, compared to only 26% when their partner stayed sedentary. Nearly 3 times the success rate. Same situation, same person, dramatically different outcome depending on what the person next to them was doing. And the same study showed that men whose partner quit smoking had a 48% success rate. Men whose partner kept smoking, 8%. And the person you share your life with is not a passive bystander in your health journey. They are an active variable, and one of the most powerful ones in the equation. So what happens specifically when your partner is not on the same page? Because there's a difference between a partner who isn't actively joining you and one who is quietly working against you. The researchers have a term for it. They call it partner undermining. And it doesn't have to be malicious to be damaging. It looks like this. You come home from the gym and there's a pizza on the counter because that's what they wanted. And you've decided to clean up your diet, and they bring chips to the couch during your one relaxing hour of the evening. You mention you're skipping the beer tonight, and they make a comment, maybe a joke, but the message underneath it is clear. Your change makes them uncomfortable. Research confirms that this kind of passive and active undermining directly hinders weight loss outcomes, not a little, meaningfully, and the mechanism makes complete sense. Every time your environment pulls against your commitment, you are burning willpower on resistance instead of momentum. You cannot sustain that indefinitely. Nobody can. There's also a more subtle version, a partner who isn't trying to undermine you, but who simply isn't changing either. In the same couch time, same takeout habits, same late night eating routine. Their inertia becomes your gravity. It doesn't drag you down dramatically. It just makes climbing the hill twice as hard as it needs to be. So what do you actually do about it? Because there is a right way and a very wrong way to have this conversation. And here's where most people mess this up. They either say nothing and silently resent the situation until they quit, or they come at their partner with criticism that immediately puts them on the defensive. Neither of those works. The research is clear on this too. Pressure and nagging are consistently associated with worse outcomes for both partners. The approach that actually moves the needle is what researchers call persuasion over pressure, meaning you share the vision, not the criticism. And here's what that conversation sounds like. You're not telling your partner they have a problem. You're telling them you have a goal and you need them in your corner. You're asking them to go on this journey with you, not as a patient who needs fixing, but as a teammate who you want sharing the win. Something like this: I'm serious about getting healthy, not just losing weight. I mean, actually building a body that functions well for the next 20 or 30 years. I can't do it alone. I need you with me. Not perfect, not overnight, just moving in the same direction. That is a different conversation than you need to stop bringing junk food home. One invites, one accuses. And the research backs up exactly why that distinction matters. And if your partner gets it, if they actually step up and start making changes alongside you, the data says your odds of success nearly triple. That is not a small thing. That is a game changer. I'll tell you something personal here. Daisy and I have been through serious health challenges together, managing her lupus through nutrition, exercise, and supplementation instead of a lifetime of medications. That was a shared journey. There were moments where having a partner who understood the stakes made all the difference, not just for accountability, for the simple fact that the environment and our home reflected our shared commitment. You can't fully appreciate how powerful that is until you've experienced the alternative. Now, I've talked to patients who were doing everything right in isolation and drowning. Same knowledge, same plan, completely different result because they were fighting their home environment instead of being supported by it. Your health is too important to navigate alone, and it's too important for the person next to you to ignore. And here's one more thing we're saying. When both of you decide to get serious, when you're finally in a caloric deficit together, moving together, sleeping better, making real changes, your bodies both have elevated nutritional demands during that transition. The 4 things that derail people in a deficit are slowing metabolism, blood sugar crashes that drive cravings, appetite that fights back harder over time, and the emotional eating that kicks in when stress runs high. That's exactly the 4-part problem we built the weight loss pack at NuLifeSpan to address. One daily pack targeting all 4: thermogenic metabolic support, blood sugar stabilizers, natural appetite regulators, and mood support compounds to keep emotional eating off the table. Clean label, stimulant-free, manufactured in GMP-compliant, FDA-registered facilities. And head over to NuLifeSpan.com or find more information in the video description. So here's the bottom line. Your partner is not neutral. The research is unambiguous. The person you share your life with is one of the most powerful predictors of your health outcomes. That can work for you or against you. You get to choose which. And have the conversation, not the critical one, the vulnerable one. Tell them what you want your life to look like in 10 years. Tell them you want them in it and you want them healthy. And ask them to be your teammate, not just your roommate. Because here's the thing about the ripple effect that the research keeps coming back to. When one person in a household starts making real changes, the other person often follows. Not because they were pressured, because the environment shifted. Because watching someone you love get serious about their health makes it harder to stay comfortable with your own. Be the one who shifts the environment. Have the talk. Start the ripple. And drop a comment below. Are you doing this alone or do you have a partner in your corner? I want to know where you are. I read every one. Hit subscribe for evidence-based content every week built for men and women over 40 who are serious about building a healthy life together. And share this with someone who needs to have this conversation at home. This is JD from NuLifeSpan. Your health is a team sport. Get your teammate on the field, and I'll see you in the next one.